Simply put, you're not being judged.
I've been judged over time. And do you know one thing? Because I ran to the church, believing that the solution, the understanding would be in the church. But I was wrong. If you talk about being hit by the church, I've been there. People have assumed things about me. Someone told me that I can't call myself a mother because I'm a single mother. Because I'm not under a man.
All right, welcome to another edition of Gospel Explicit with Josh of Sioni. Well, on this edition, I think this is the very first time we're having the other gender on this set. Interesting one. This is the very first time. I just thought about it when I was coming up with the introduction. And of course, I'm glad to announce the arrival and of course the emergence of this wonderful lady who happens to be a colleague. She's a woman of parts. She, of course, as a broadcaster, as a digital journalist, she's also one as well. She's a public speaker. She's a preacher. She does a lot of things, a voice actor. Well, you go by the name Victoria Owoyemi, but we prefer to call you Toke Salt. That's what we'll call you, and I prefer to call you Salt. So
Exactly.
Salt, good to have you on board.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. And all of that for me feels good to
Thank
hear you say
you
all
deserve
that.
you deserve more
Thank
than that.
you.
Of course,
Thank
you're witty, you're fun to be with.
Oh.
You sound, you're deep, you're well grounded in so many areas.
Oh my God.
And it's an opportunity for me.
Oh my God.
So Salt, now let's just get into the conversation on this podcast. We try to look at very critical issues. Some issues that not that people are scared or afraid to talk about, but sometimes it just doesn't cross their mind. And the earlier we begin to have these conversations, the better for us. But of course, what we're looking at is not just to steer conversations that will steer or will generate traffic or that will cause mayhem or controversies, but of course to also find solutions. I believe when you have serious conversations, you are awakening consciousness in people. You're stirring something in them. There are things that people are not aware of, or people are not scared, or people are scared to talk about. But when you throw light on some of these issues, they begin to get light too, and they become better versions of themselves. So that is basically why we are here. I know you a bit. I know you've been through a lot.
Yes.
But I'm happy, and I'm not flattering you, to announce to you that I've always seen you as an Amazon.
Oh, thank you.
A queen of the universe.
Thank you.
A woman who has gone through fire, who has gone through everything, but still, she still started very strong. You're a model to a lot of people out there.
Oh.
And so I would like us to
Thank you.
now go back to some of those darkest moments.
Okay.
As a successful woman, who was a media trainer, a public speaker, a preacher, sometimes we have other sides that many people don't know about. I know you're never scared to talk about all of these things. I see your posts and your write-ups. But on Gospel Explicit, this is the first time we're talking about it.
Yes.
And it's good, again, that you're the first woman. So the darkest moment, you've gone through depression.
Yes.
You're a single mother.
Yes.
There are quite a lot. You've battled illnesses.
Yes.
I've been able to have the opportunity to work with you.
Yes.
But like I said, I'm always glad, I'm always happy, I'm proud of you, looking at how you've been able to come up. So now, as a Christian who have gone through all of this, are you comfortable with how you are perceived in the society, and particularly how the church perceive you?
I think it has to do with evolving, because at some point you realize that the reality, at a point, the church is not ready for this reality. And the church itself, now when I mean the church, I mean the body of Christ.
The body of Christ, yeah.
I'm not sure we are ready yet, but I think we're getting to that point.
All right.
Where when some of these issues are brought to the fore, we don't want to face it because like if we talk about it too loudly, if we are too explicit about these things, it could mislead people. But at the same time, like you said, you follow my writings.
Yes.
There are people that you'll be shocked. They come to my DM and like, you're courageous. I can't say these things, but I'm going through this, and this is our pastors. These are ministers in church. So there are conversations that the church is not ready for yet. But the reality is it has crept into the church already. And the earlier we begin to have these conversations surrounding these issues, talking about single motherhood, single fatherhood, relationships and choices of partners or what. There's some things that sometimes even myself, I'm like, okay, should I say these things out there? But I had to recall because I feel that the people are not ready yet. And most times in this climb, we are very emotional about things. We don't want to face the reality, but the reality is right here. It's there.
So my question again, let me break it down. Yes, of course, you're hitting the nail on the head. I just want to break it down so that we can dive deeper.
Okay.
Simply put, you're not being judged.
I've been judged over time. And do you know one thing? Because I ran to the church believing that the solution, the understanding would be in the church, but I was wrong. If you talk about being hit by the church, I've been there.
Wow.
Where I've been wrongly, people have assumed things about me. At some point, they told, if I was, normally if I'm meant to officiate, they'll tell them that don't allow her officiate because of this.
Why? She doesn't have a crown. She's not
Someone
married.
told me that I can't call myself a mother because I'm a single mother. Because I'm not under a man. So I've been judged, and I think that was my own power. That was my feeling. That was my feel. Because if you judge me and maybe ostracize me because I don't fit in to the picture that you have, that this is what a Christian should look like. Yet my reality is like a storm that is pushing me to another end in which I expect you to see it and draw me back in love and bring understanding into the picture and say, we understand this, but can we be more empathetic? Can we be more empathic? Not sympathetic, not sympathy. Sympathy is sorry, but empathy.
Of course.
I feel what you feel, and there's no way you can. I always say it. If you've not been through it, you will judge it. The moment you go through it, you have an explanation for it.
The moment you go through it,
you will have an explanation for it. You will not be part of those that judge. It's because you've not been through it. So if at all the person is going through, if I'm going through a wrong path, a pathway that you think is not Christian-like, if you've been through it or you have an idea of what it's like, the Bible says correct in love. I may not even know that maybe the path I'm taking is wrong. But yes, I've been judged, and it hits me. But that led me to choosing myself. And the boldness I have today is because I realized that if I don't choose myself, if you look at yourself through the eyes of others, you will die unfulfilled. So if I keep looking at myself through your eyes, those judgmental eyes, I would be down every time. I've been looked down upon over and over again. Many things have been said about me. So I've been judged. But that also led me to God, to find the real God in the church.
But have you also thought about you might also have made some mistakes?
I have.
Errors.
I have.
Okay.
But what I'm trying to say is that, that's why I said that. If you've been through it, you won't judge me. You will have an explanation. It's just like me now. If I see a woman that is having issue in a marriage and she wants to take some, I will look at her. For someone out there will say, no, you put it on your head. She calls herself a pastor. But you don't know the tears and the pain, the blood she's drawing. or the blood, the challenge she's going through is drawing from her. So because I've been through it, my own position, my own place is to be able to call her and say that you might be taking this, and this is what I feel you can do. This is how I did it.
All right.
Or this is the path I think, or this is how you can do. But I'm not judging you. I understand. And I think we need more people who understand.
And by judgment, you may also have been faced with scenarios like married men not wanting to have their wives around people like you.
Oh, there was a particular married woman in my church. Whenever I greet her husband, the eyebrow is always on the forehead.
Oh, the man.
The woman herself.
The woman herself.
And
okay, it's scared. Okay.
And the men too. Well, I think it's more of the women. When they notice that you're a single mom, they become very protective around their partners.
The partners.
And the thing is, you might just have a clean heart, just good. After church, how are you doing, ma? How are you doing, sir? Do you understand? And some men too. Well, I think I've not experienced the part of men. I think I experienced empathy more from the men because they saw me as a young lady they saw everything, the breakdown, and seeing me with kids and seeing the way I'm trying to also. So they're like, oh, how is business? So I got that empathy more from the men. But the women are the ones that are scared because they're like, no, you are talking, especially that woman, and the husband likes checking out on me, and because I was doing business, I was selling puff in church.
Oh, wow, great.
Yes.
I was very industrious.
I hogged puff. I was selling puff just to be able to buy diaper. So I take it to church, I sell drinks in church. So, but the men come that go, let me buy things from you. But yes, it happens.
Okay. So now let's go back to the roots now. Let's go back to the roots. Why do you think relationships, marriages are failing? The rates at which marriages are failing, we're having divorces and separation. The rate seems to be very high these days. Well, there have been a lot of theories. Others will say, oh, women are demanding too much, feminism. Others will talk about the patriarchy. Society will find ourselves and how men want to just dominate and then feel like they cannot be questioned. Well, I don't want to answer the questions myself, but it's something that is alarming. You know, as children of God who are spiritually filled, sometimes we may want to definitely talk about this is an agenda of the devil to ensure that the world is scattered because it will affect a lot of things. But maybe there are other areas that you have also observed, you think is contributing largely to this.
I'd like to take it from the mental health angle. A lot of people are broken. So when two broken people,
a lot of people are broken,
yet they don't know. So in order to heal your pain, you begin to look for love as the pill to heal the wounds. And at first, at the beginning, there are butterflies. You feel like, oh, finally, I found someone who sees my worth. I found someone who loves me for who I am. Okay, so there are people that are broken, and it's a very stable relationship. It's a relationship of two whole people, people that have processed their wounds. Now, why I say wound? Because there's no way you're an adult and you've not been heartbroken at some point in your life. It might actually not come from a man. It might come from family, it might come from friends, and you might be having trust issues, attachment styles. In psychology, they call something attachment styles, called the avoidant attachment style, anxious attachment style, secure attachment style. These attachment styles are born out of previous or history of wounds or pains or relationship patterns. Now, when you find someone, you see two persons come into a relationship, and we fail to ask about where is this person coming from? What is the background of this person? For instance, a man who grew up in an environment where he practically lived for himself, grew up alone, watched out for himself because maybe he lived with a foster parent, or the mother wasn't around, or the mother is late, the father is late, he had to live with one parent and all of that. And you see a lady that came from a home that is stable, where she's secure, peaceful, where a home where she's validated.
Yeah.
She's told that she's the queen, she's the princess right from childhood, and she sees love all around her. And this man she's coming to be with is a man that doesn't understand what love is. So imagine both of them at first, because of the butterflies, because of the beauty in finding someone, the man wants love. So he finds it in this lady that is full of love. And it feels like finally I've gotten, but they still don't know that there is something there's something called foundation. So they come together. This lady is expecting the man to love her the way her father loved her, but the man does not have the capacity to love her because of the way he grew up. Now, both of them, the lady will begin to complain that you are not loving me. He's like, I'm loving you, I'm providing for you. And what else do you want me to say? No, that's not the way, because
that's the definition of love.
Definition of love. Our own idea or definition of love is we are together, we have after work, you come home, after dinner, we sit down, we gist, we laugh, then everybody, they all the lovey thing, and the one doesn't have time for it. Before you know, there's a crack. She begins to look for that attention outside, begin to look for a friend. So I'm just trying to paint a scenario to paint why most times we have conflict of personality.
Okay.
That is number one. Number two, we're looking at the fact that of unhealed wounds. Now, I know a man who said, I'm making love to my wife, and it's as if my wife married me because she wants a child. Because when I make love to her, there's no joy, there's nothing. And if I don't call her, if I go for 3 weeks, I don't call her, she's at home, she's not bothered. So I don't know, it's as if I married a woman that is not emotionally, connected to me. But I told him, I said, what's her history? Did anybody break her heart? He said, yes. I said, that's the problem. So that first love broke her heart. And immediately that person broke her heart, that woman made up her mind, I'm not loving again. I'm going to get married and I'm going to have children, but I'm not going to give my heart. But how can you be in a relationship where you don't even give your heart? So that comes from unhealed, unprocessed pain. And do you know the funny thing? The thing is that when you go through pain or healing, the path of healing is painful. So instead of people to go through the pain, they cover up, they mature up, and they move on with life, pretending and lying to themselves that they are fine. So when you get it, then they get into marriage, a little trigger begins to bring out these things. They are quarrels. A little statement it mirrors what they went through in the past that was unprocessed. So this also is a very big reason why people break up. At the end of the day, they start getting apart. They're not connected. So when you are emotionally unavailable, don't go close to marriage. Because marriage is emotional.
When you are emotionally
unavailable, don't go. It's not a rescue. Marriage is not a rescue. So when you are emotionally, you know that you're not ready to give yourself. Please don't go, because you will suffer your partner. Your partner is expecting understanding. Your partner is expecting love. Is expecting that sometimes you make sacrifice. But because you are I don't want to call it self-centeredness. You call it self-love. Self-love is selfishness. Because when you say self-love, it's selfish. Yes, you'll be self-centered. That's self-love. Yes, you'll be
self-obsession.
Obsession. Except you have gotten to a point where you are now healed and you begin to love yourself in proportion. Right. You know the right angle. So these are the reasons why people are falling out of love. Emotional unavailability, unprocessed wounds. These are the reasons. And most times interference from third parties.
Interference is from
third parties. Like in-laws. A friend of mine was telling me that everything that happened, he's just married. He's married less than 2 years. But he's tired already, because he said, my wife will always tell the family everything that's happening in the home. And I said, that's wrong.
I know some people are really connected to their family.
Their family, and they don't know how
some people love their siblings more than their partners.
And that's an issue.
Some people love their parents more than their partners. And they can't seem to agree that these people, they are my blood, though. But I think it's wrong. I agree with you.
But can we say it's wrong? It might not be. There's a way around it.
What I mean is coming into marriage with that mentality.
You're not available for the partner. You're meant to, one and one is meant to come together to make one. But when you are attached, you are not fully out of where you're coming from. How do you become one with the other person? If at all you know that you're that person that you are so attached to your family, you talk to your mom and your dad about everything, you tell your sister about everything, you should know that when immediately you get into marriage, you should sieve. It's not as if you should not talk, but sieve information. Immediately you begin to give your partner out there, put him out there in face of a family, it begins, no matter if he does wrong, it begins to lose value in front of them, and that will be an issue.
There have also been times when we've seen third parties, so-called third parties, save one partner from the other partner.
Yeah.
You know, when some people have been too quiet about their dues and the very wrong things they're going through in their marriages, and they don't want to tell anybody, and before they know, they lose their lives, or they lose their minds. But because they have someone who they could tell and perhaps come to their rescue, help them out, or defend them. So what I'm just saying is sometimes you just have to balance these things.
And another thing I realize is you shouldn't be with someone who doesn't have an accountability partner. Someone that if something goes wrong, you can report. You shouldn't be with someone like that. If you are being with someone and you ask the person, who is the person has to have someone that they fear. That when the person calls them, even if they want to go gaga, immediately they see that person, they calm down. Everybody has that person. So, but if you're being with someone and that person doesn't have that person, you're in trouble. Because there's nobody to call on.
Okay, so now let's move on and let's talk about another issue. One of the factors that many people have alluded to crashes of marriages and separations that we've witnessed these days is cheating. Maybe by one partner or by both partners. Most times, I'm a man, so I'm going to be very blunt. Most times, men are mostly guilty of this. But, you know, times are changing. We are witnessing a lot these days. We've had a lot of stories. We've seen a lot of events unfolding and happening. And we've had women who will also say, like the one that we heard about recently, a man that was unavailable to the wife, and he said that he's a master of malice. I'm sure you must have listened. He's a master of malice, that he knows how to keep malice. Of course, such person is never available emotionally, like you said. Detached from the wife, and the wife had to look for love somewhere else. How can you justify that, validate that when the man or one partner is not available and the other, particularly women? Do you think it can be justified for them to say, well, you cannot kill me. I need love. I need warmth. I need my happiness. I need my sanity. And then they look for it out there. Can we justify that?
Okay. One thing I'd like to do is not to validate or justify any move, because I believe that the love journey is a personal journey.
The love journey.
The love journey is a personal journey. Your choices, your choices, your mindset.
All right.
So for that lady, it's obvious. She wants emotional availability. The man is not available, and it goes on for a while. She has to look for it out there. That's her journey. That's her path. That's what she chose. There's some persons in that same situation that the partner is like that, and they feel that, okay, maybe this is who he is. Let me look for something else to keep my mind busy before I lose my mind. Some persons, I know someone that is like that. What she did was she chose to go to the gym.
Okay.
So whenever she's angry and the man makes her angry at home, you know what she does in it? You always see her with boxing. That's what so she's punching the bags. So when she's done punching and pouring out, she sees the man as the bag. And so she punches, and once she's done, she goes home and she gives the man the same silent treatment. That's her journey. That's a choice. That's why I said that I would not justify, because it's a personal race. It's your story. It's you. The way someone else will handle cheating is not the same way another person will handle it. A man can cheat. A woman might be like, well, that's him. Another woman like, oh, that's him. I would cheat back. Another woman would be like, oh, okay, that's what you want to be doing. And I would deny you.
From a Christian perspective, would you encourage that? Knowing full well that the woman is suffering on one side. She's suffering. She's losing her mind. She's not happy in the marriage. But we also know what the Bible says about adultery. I say two wrongs don't make a right. And you know, Bible would not.
Separate.
Definitely.
That's what I would say. From the Christian perspective, as long as you're still under the man, it's not justified. If you're looking at it holistically as a Christian, it's not. Right. It's not justified. But if you know that it's already here and you can't take it anymore, what stops you from separating? Because the moment you leave the cover to go to someone else, emotionally you've separated already. In fact, it's not just emotionally, psychologically you've separated. Because do you know the funny thing? Women don't cheat. Most women, especially women that are there's a women that are focused. All right. They're of good behavior. Most women will love their husbands. They don't cheat because they want to get back. Let me say there are a few reasons why women cheat. Maybe for financial reasons, maybe for power. A woman might feel like this person has a key to where I want to get to. So I don't mind doing it as long as I get it. And sometimes a woman might cheat for emotional unavailability. So all of these things, if you know.
I think there's a few people who are promiscuous.
Naturally. Yeah, naturally they are just like that. They just like that. The same way there are men that are women that you can't just stop them. And that is why it's always good to know yourself. Self-awareness, and don't lie to yourself. If you know that you can't stay with a man, in fact, there are some persons that immediately a man is being with them for too long, they start getting cranky. Their peace comes from, and that's polyandry. Their peace comes from having like 2-3 different men. But in Africa, we don't support polyandry. But some parts of Africa supports polyandry. That a woman can be with 3 men, and 3 men know that that's their husband, and they are peaceful, they are happy. The same way a man can be with 3 women, like polygamy. So from the Christian perspective, for me, if you know that you are in this setting, your mental health is not worth putting on the line, because that will take you to where you don't even bargain for. Staying with an emotional, unavailable partner, a man who doesn't even care about you, and you are there sulking. For me, I would say get out. Even if it's to separate for a while. I'm not saying seek divorce immediately, but get out of that cover. Get your sanity before you lose your mind. Because immediately you lose your mind, that's losing your mind is the tool the man will use and say that, look at it, I said it, and that's what it is. A woman who is already mentally unstable because of emotional torture will begin to be cranky and aggressive. And that is what the man will tell the world, that she's an aggressive woman. But they will not tell the world what led her to be aggressive. A man was telling me that my wife is nags. And I asked him a question. I said, when you began the marriage, was she like that? He said, no, she was all sweet. I said, okay, was she complaining about things and you were not changed? He said, yes, she was complaining about something. So now she has become a nag. But in the beginning, she was not a nag. So they don't talk about the process that leads to the present attitude. They only see the present attitude and put it out there that this is who she is. So if anything is beginning to affect your mental health, where you're thinking, you're staring, you're mopping, like you're staring at the wall, you're there, you're sighing every time, BP issues are there, depression is there, it is real. Before you do something bad, there is no crime in just giving yourself time. Get out of that cover. If you have to go and stay with your mom for a while, let that man get back his own mind. Let him get his senses. Let that man get back to his mind and his senses. You need to separate yourself, but it's not worth putting your mental health on the line.
Okay, now let's talk about men. Yeah, you see, this patriarchal society that we have.
Yeah.
And I'm not actually sure if this is peculiar to this part of the world. I'm talking about Africa alone. Even in the Western world, men tend to
feel superior.
Yeah. Of course, I don't agree with that. School of thought, I believe we're equal. Though at home, there is hierarchy, there's a structure at home. Any organization that does not have a structure will definitely crumble. So someone must lead while the others must support.
Yeah.
But at the same time, wife and husband are one. Let's talk about this. It appears that a lot of men, they feel that they can do anything and get away with it because of the structure, the way we're wired in this part of the world. You know, the Yorubas will say something. A máa ń gbọ́ wípé bàbá mi ń gbéyàwó, a kì í gbọ́ pé ìyá mi ń lọ sílé ọkọ. You also understand that even the other religion, the very dominant and prominent one in this part of the world, and even everywhere, of course, encourage polygamy. You just talked about polyandry, which is very rare in most part of the world. Don't you think that men, in a way, the way we are wired, this idea about superiority, about this patriarchy that has been in us a lot, is affecting the way a lot of men treat women. Don't you think? And if you agree, at what stage do you think? Because I know you're a mother of a boy and you have a girl as well. At what stage do you think we should begin to let our boy child know that no, this is wrong. This is not how to treat a woman. This is how to have a peaceful home.
Okay. First of all, I would say that it's the curse.
Curse?
Yes. Let's go back to Genesis.
C-U-R-S-E.
It's the curse, yes. Let's go back to Genesis. After the sin, I'm a Christian, so I'm going to look at it from the perspective.
That's right.
I mean, this is gospel.
Yeah,
explicit,
right? Yeah.
Right. Let's go back to Genesis when God placed the curse. At first, he told the man that you would till the ground before you ate. What was the curse he gave to the serpent? That you will crawl on your belly and you eat sand. Those things are happening, right?
Yeah.
What's the one he gave to the woman? Said, and thy desire shall be towards thy husband, and he shall rule over you. That is the consequence of the sin of breaking the rule.
All right.
So that is the Genesis. Before they were equal, but now the curse made the man superior. But now let's go back to the New Testament, where Paul was, because the Jews then, they took that law to oppress women.
Yeah.
To the point where they told Jesus that if is it lawful to divorce? And Jesus said to them that Moses gave you because of the hardness of your heart, because they were tough on the women. A woman cannot speak in church, in the gathering of men. A woman cannot do so. He saw, even when Mary Magdalene and the man that committed the adultery with Mary Magdalene was not brought out. It was Mary. So yes, but there was a balance when Paul said, treat her like you would treat yourself. And man, love thy wife. And woman, even Paul himself was still working in, but there, like you said, there has to be that in the ship, there has to be the captain and others.
Of course, yeah.
All right. So that's where I want to pick it from. So if the serpent is still crawling on the belly and man, you're still tilling the ground to eat, the other part will still work, where the man. So that patriarchy is innate in men. But then we have understanding. Let's come to the point where there is a place of understanding that if I treat this woman, do you know women are mirror? We are mirrors. A good woman, not just a woman that is naturally nasty, right? That no matter what a man does, she will still be herself.
Yeah.
A good woman is like a mirror. It's what, or is it a mirror, should I call it? It's what she reflects you. Whatever you see in a good woman, it's your own reflection. So it's what you put in, you get back. If you love a good woman, you will be happy. But if you treat her saying that I'm the man, you will not. Because at some point you'll be like, hey, you are the man. So I'm what? So patriarchy is innate. It's in the blood. But the wise, for the sake of peace, for the sake of building up, will see the woman as this is, Paul said it, that is, she's already you. Because when it's what you do treat her as your own body. It's what you will do to your body, you will do to her. And because it is hard for men to love and it is hard for women to submit.
You think it's hard for men to love these days?
Yes, it's hard.
Are some women unknowingly attracted to toxic men?
Yes, a lot. And that comes from foundation. Because women that grew up in toxic environments will naturally think that is the way a man should be. It comes from childhood trauma. A child that grows up in a toxic environment cannot be attracted to a peaceful man. Cannot. There's a woman that you say, she will even knowingly, she will like, just fight, just hit me. Because she believes that it is when the man beats her and then draws her closer, that is love.
Well, some women are actually beating men these days. So we see.
Yeah, I see videos of women beating men.
Beating men mercilessly.
And do you know that also can be linked to a toxic upbringing? Because that particular person must have seen the mother. Most times, those kind of very tough women that maltreats men, check the way they grew up too. Because you can't separate these things from where everything we are right now is a sum total of every places we've been and everything we've done till this point in our lives.
Okay, so let me quickly ask you this. Do feminism and financial independence make women less willing to compromise in marriages and relationships? Because one factor we did not talk about that is finance.
Yes.
Finance can also bring toxicity, can also bring chaos.
It does
pandemonium.
Yeah.
It's a very huge factor.
Yes.
It's a very huge factor, and I'm aware of that.
Yeah. So, feminism. What is a feminist looking for in marriage?
Well, so maybe we should just focus on financial independence.
You know why I said that? You know why I say a feminist will say equal rights, equality.
Yeah.
Okay. So, when you're preaching equality, make sure that the environment with which you're preaching the equality supports inequality. Because you are in the home. Now, do you know that some men that also believes in they also have the mindset of the feminine, like, okay, we are all equal. There are men like that who support it. So yes. So if you're preaching feminism, you have to understand that the person I'm with understands what I'm saying, and we are in line.
We're in line.
That can work. But if you're a feminist, I watched there's a particular podcaster. She's very, very popular.
Okay.
She got married to someone younger, and they are very popular on social media.
Okay.
One of the videos, do you know what the guy said? He said, before we met, you were always preaching feminism, like a woman is but now we're married and you've changed. He said that statement and she looked at him and she smiled. I understood that smile. Do you know? So now, talking about, I don't want to go deep into that because he made out to understand that all you needed was just love.
Yeah.
The right man that will understand that you're a woman of yourself and you have goals and you are an entity and will respect that and give you your space. You were preaching all of that, but I'm here and I'm loving you just the way you are, and you are happy and you stopped preaching that. So that's majorly that's what the women need. It's not that women want to fight for equal rights. We're only fighting manipulation. If you see a woman that is talking feminism, she has been manipulated. She's only fighting.
Some men have also been manipulated too.
Of course.
Because there are women who are also wired. And I don't know. We talked about, we're not talking about finances now, who have been wired from the get-go that you get married or you go into a relationship to take something from the other person.
And it has to be the man. If the man is not giving something, then you're in the wrong place.
You're in the wrong place.
You know, I was talking about.
And no matter how successful they have themselves,
the man has to give something. Because the man is seen as a provider, is the head of the home. He has to make you feel like a woman. Your money, his money is our money, and my own
money is my money.
It all comes back to orientation. Let's go to finances.
Yeah,
I don't want us to shelve that part.
To digress. Yeah,
let's go to finances. Financial, it's in this age. You see, the equation or the equation that can work or the ratio that can work, if the woman is so considerate, that'd be 50-50.
Okay.
If the woman is very considerate, because the reality of today, don't get me wrong, there are women that they are not bringing more. The husband is not bringing much
more to the table,
but they are bringing and is supporting, and they are fine.
They're fine, yeah.
I've seen women like that.
I know many.
There are many, and you will not know.
Yeah, I know many. And they don't raise dust about it.
But do you know that also comes to upbringing? That's because the woman has an orientation. And another thing is the man might not be bringing money, but he's bringing something else. Yes. If a man cannot lead financially, he's leading in other places. Look at women that are out there making waves. And you might not even, their husbands might not even be popular. You might not know them, except from some persons that have seen them. They might just be the quiet type, but they are leading them. Yeah. It takes a strong man to lead a strong woman.
A strong woman, yeah.
And a woman that is strong financially, even if the husband is not as financially strong as she is stronger mentally to be able to lead her.
Yeah.
So if he's not bringing the money to the table, he's bringing something else to the table that she can bow to. So that's why a woman like that can submit to a man that's not bringing much to the table. But that you don't have the money and you don't have the leadership quality that's to manage what I'm bringing, and you are preaching submission, there will be conflict. So even if you can, I would always say it's not a crime for men to not have as much as the woman. It's not.
A crime, yeah.
But make sure that even if you don't have the money, you have the mental ability, psychological capacity to manage your woman and be secure. Insecurity is what most times causes all these things. That's some women who don't mind. But because the men sometimes can, and it's not unnatural to be insecure, because a man feels like I'm the man when he has a higher financial power.
All right.
So he feels like that. Right. So, but if you don't, this is to the men, if you don't, and your wife is, and it's already becoming an issue, find your security, build yourself to be able to manage her. If you're psychologically strong enough to understand her, you will have peace. Most women, which woman wants to go out there with the way the world is? Many women don't want to be off the roof or away from the roof of a man, because they know the reality of what is out there. But the question is, are you man enough to keep me, even if I'm bringing something to the table and you're not bringing as enough as I'm bringing? What else are you bringing that I can submit to?
Okay, so Salt. Yeah. Let's now go to some personal issues.
Okay.
I'm aware that you have been broken many times, and you've gone through depression. I just don't want to. I don't want you to betray emotions. I don't want to raise unnecessary dust, but I want people to learn.
Okay.
Because I know you've been preaching, or you've been talking about this, how people can rise, even while they are on the ground.
Yeah.
So it's all about talking about how you survive the fire. And some of the things that lead to this, generally about some dark moments in our life. Probably why we're not really formed or shaped. And then we're a bit too innocent and something could have happened. So for you, I know there have been many chapters of such, but which one do you think actually really broke you? That really broke you, that made you see the world like, wow, is this the world that we'll talk about? That does it actually worth it? Sometimes that you maybe even consider suicide.
Yeah. Okay. I would say my partner had left me, and He left when my boy was about 8 months old. No, was he 8 or 9? And I didn't know I was already carrying another child.
It's not. 8 months. Okay, just 8 months.
The boy was about was 11
11
months.
months. But was not. He had not even clocked
He had not. No, he made it official by telling my mom that he would not go ahead anymore. And that was when the boy clocked 1.
Wow.
I wasn't even aware that I was already carrying another child. I didn't know I was already pregnant, like 2 months gone.
Wow.
So when he made that, I made peace. I cried. But I said, okay, fine. He said, I'll take care of the boy. We'll be fine, but I can't go ahead with this. So it was 2 months after then, I realized I was carrying another child. And I told him how it was like hell was let loose. And he said, you have to abort it. I said, I would not. And for the next 3 months, he was calling me and forcing me to. At some point, I was almost giving in. Thank God for my mom. She said, no, you won't. And I did not. I'm grateful to God. And today, that girl is his best girl. See life. Right? So, I want to, now, the part that broke me most was when he came. So I gave birth to the child. I was in my father's house back there. I gave birth to the child. He came for the naming ceremony. My mom was like, do you want me to take care of 2 children in my house? I'm going to carry your family. Imagine a man prostrating in front of your family and saying, please, I cannot marry her. And I looked at myself like, is my life that bad? That a man is my life? Yes. Like for a man to be saying, Mommy, Joe, me fair. My mom was asking, so she has 2 children, she's young. Do you want to turn her to something else on the street? So when she feels like being with a man, should she go and meet another man? Then people will start calling her names. He said, okay, why? He said, we are not compatible. He said, you will work it out. And then he prostrated. He said, please, Mommy, I cannot. My dad is late. I was broken. That was not even it. He left till the child was 2 years.
The second child?
Second child.
All right.
He was 2 years old. He never showed himself. He never came. And at some point, I was reaching out to him for financial support. And the next was like, the child you were never there for. So he would say things to me, and I'll feel like, until one day, that was the point where I learned to make pastries. My daughter was 2 months old when I started learning how to make pastries. I will hawk pastries. Josh of Sioni, I carried puff inside buckets, walked to parks to sell so I can get money to buy diaper. At that point, I felt my career was over. I had serious issues. I felt this thing was over for me. How can I face the mic? This is salt. Imagine like now having 2 children hanging on me. So when I came back from hawking that day, in fact, that day when I was going, a guy drove a car and parked and looked and said, the guy told me, say, you're too beautiful for this. Why are you doing this? And I had men that were thronging. But because I made up my mind that I was not going to, just rubbish myself.
Yeah.
But there was a day I called him. And that day, he said things to me, I almost went to kill myself. And that was the day I found God, the provider. I went back at midnight. Do you know what it means? Like, I tremble on the bed. When my children are asleep, I have to hold their hands to get emotional support. That's what I do. Because there's nowhere else I would get someone to hold me. So I hold one hand with one hand, I hold the other with another hand, and I feel them. I try to feel their hand to feel like I'm not alone. That's how I sleep. And the children are so they got used to it. Because that was how I began to get my own emotional feel that I have someone around me. And one night, after he said those things, I sat down after that call. I can't say all the things he said to me. I sat down And I looked, I said, God, if you don't help me, I'm gone. So every midnight, once the children are asleep, I turn to God. I begin to pray. And that was when help came from nowhere. People have not spoken with in 13 years. Toke, where have you been? What's happening? These are my alumni, secondary school. And God, someone even said, I saw you with 2 children. Are you married? Are you have children? I saw you struggling with 2 children. I said, God led me to you, 2 different persons. And one said, God asked me to pay you salary for the next 2 years without working. So that was when I started standing on my feet. I started standing. And that was that point that period I wanted to commit suicide. It was so dark. It was so dark that I almost did. But thank God I did not, because I heard a voice inside of me. If you go now, who will take care of these children? And that was how I came back.
But do you think a child can truly thrive without a father figure?
Yes. If you have a good mother figure, if you have a mother that tells you you can be anything, it's not about the physical body. It's about the soul that is nurturing. Even if it's not your biological father or your mother, but there's a nurturing soul around you, you will be anything you decide to be, because it wasn't your choice. You didn't choose it. It happened to you. And that's what I want people to understand, that things happen and you don't have to blame yourself for these things that happen. For someone like me, I've been a single mother for 9 years. At some point, I said, God, will I ever get married again? And can I still get a man that is single, that will see me with these children and still wants to love me? Because the reason I'm not giving up on love. I still want love, because I know love is an elixir of the soul, is the youth, is youthfulness for me. It makes life better. If you find it, hold it, because it makes life better for you. It makes life easier. The stress out there is too much. You need a place to recline. You need someone to look into your eyes and tell you everything will be fine. So yes.
So single mothers are going through a lot.
Oh, you will see a man will tell you they are doing you a favor. A man will say, some men have come, look at that and say, God, which is, someone will even tell me, there's a particular one I even posted. It was so funny and so annoying. Like, he will come to my dear, my love, my sunshine, I will not reply him. And I say, my love, my wife don't born. Like, my love, my wife has given that. I said, okay, so you're calling me your sunshine and you're telling me that your wife has put to bed. So what am I supposed to say to you?
Well, this is a simple one. Do you actually think that men are naturally polygamous, the way it's been thrown around?
Yeah. Do you know, I asked a man?
Of course, not every man, but as in...
I've seen men who have settled home. They have peaceful homes. And I will ask, so what are you looking for? You have your wife, you have kids, your home is peaceful. It's like, I don't know. I just want someone outside again.
Some people just believe that it's in discipline, not because they are naturally polygamous, because naturally there are a lot of things that we want to do that we can caution.
Naturally, there is a tendency. But discipline is what makes the difference. It's just like saying that naturally I love food. And when I perceive the aroma of anything, I want to eat everything. But discipline will tell you, this is not to be eaten. You already have this. Stick to it. Even the Bible says it, be satisfied with the wife of your, how did it put it in Proverbs? I'll be satisfied. Okay, drink water from your own cistern in Proverbs. So naturally, you know, because men are moved by what they see. So naturally, when you see shades, you see a woman who is curvy and beautiful. The eyes are like this. But discipline will tell you, do not look twice. I even do it as a lady. Because there's some men that's so fine. You look at them and be like, this man is fine.
And but once and your rap proverb will come.
Exactly. You look at, this man is so fine. But what I started doing, because I realized that the eye the eyes are the gates to the heart. The eyes, the ears, but first the eyes. So when you see and you notice the handsomeness, the height, or the beauty of the curviness of the lady, don't look twice. The moment you take your eyes, and sometimes look, even if the person is coming, look down until that thing passes. So it doesn't register in your mind. The moment it registers, it starts getting into your subconscious. You might go like, I saw someone. And then you begin to think and overthink. And the moment you begin to think, it begins to get broadened. So don't look twice. It's not a crime to see it once, but that's where this discipline comes in. So but another thing is, if a man is nature, it's also nature for women, because women too see handsome men. We see men with big cars. It's attractive to us.
Yeah, of course.
We see rich men and some rich guys. It's attractive to us. That's very successful. We are attracted to success too. But we discipline ourselves and say that I have a man. So men should try and do that for us too.
Okay, finally, I am always conscious about time.
Okay.
I don't want this sessions to be too long so that people can enjoy it and not get bored. Of course, the conversation we are having is absolutely interesting. But I'll just ask this one, and it's a very controversial one. And this is going to be the final shot. What would you have? What advice would you give? Not necessarily a woman. This is different from someone who is not emotionally available. This is about someone who can satisfy their partner sexually. Or maybe they just don't have that much interest. Sometimes they call it libido, like the other person. And of course, the Bible advised us not to defy the bed. But you get into a relationship, realize that, no, this person is like, I'm here, and it's here. And no matter how much you try, therapy, I don't know, exercises, counseling, they don't just match. And one person is suffering. What advice would you have? We've had people who have to cheat because of that.
Yes. In fact, the wife, I've seen people that did what you said. Sometimes the wife will say, okay, just have someone out there, but make sure you don't get her pregnant because you would wound me.
But it's not Christian-like.
And this person I'm talking about is a reverend. It's funny.
But the Bible does not support that.
So now that's where I want to conclude. What you were asking me, recently, this spirit told me that I am all knowing. Recently, when you said that to my soul, I'm all knowing. I'm not sure there's anything you want answer for that you wouldn't get in God. And if you can believe that, this thing you mentioned, if a man is in that situation,
or a woman
too,
because I tend to hear more women complain about their partners these days.
Yes.
And I know what I'm talking about.
And maybe the man is even getting out there. And
maybe it's getting out there
and comes home.
Sometimes.
So, do you know, I tell God very, very funny things, very silly things, but I'm all open. I'm very open with my emotions, with how I feel. God is all-knowing. Go and talk to the Holy Spirit. The only one strategy from God. See, God created us. He knows our body functionings. He knows everything. The Holy Spirit was one that moved upon the face of the deep, and the word said, let there be light. So you see that 3 in 1? If you are not shy enough, or if you are trustful enough, go to the Holy Spirit and tell him, I need a way out of this. You'll be shocked at the way we come out. It's personal. You know, I said something when we started. I said the love journey is a personal journey. There's no one formula for it. There's no one formula that this is what the Bible said. Bible said do not divorce. People are dying because they are in toxic marriages. So people now, pastors are preaching and saying that if it has come to domestic abuse, move out. So we are in a reality where God in the past is the same yesterday, today, and forever. There is a structure, heavenly structure, but the functionings are changing. But his structure is there. So even when the function wants to change to start affecting the structure that God has put down, has laid down, go back to him and ask for a way. He will give you a way. I have done it over and over again. He will give you a way. And sometimes that way might even be to leave the partner. I'm serious. I've seen someone that's
leave a partner and remarry, find another person.
fine. It might be. See, God is mysterious.
Find a sex partner.
Not a sex. I'm not saying sex.
Okay.
But sometimes I've seen someone that said, God is leading me to leave this person. She's married and she left the person.
Okay, well, this is actually a very wide, deep.
But I would just say this: if you're going through this and you know that you've done everything, go to the all-knowing. There is always an answer for you.
Thank you very much, Toke Salt, for your time on Gospel Explicit. You can also call it Just Explicit. We appreciate you so much for coming. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're very fun to be with, and of course, you get different shades of you every time I want to see now to have a conversation such as this.
Thank you.
I believe there will be another chapter. Other chapters will open. At some other time, but
I look forward to
thank you. Once again, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
And so we appreciate everyone watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Gospel Explicit on YouTube. You can also subscribe to Josh Explicit on YouTube. Joshua Sioni on YouTube. My name is Joshua Sioni. Have a great day and bye.